What is up, everybody? This is Blex here, bringing you a Tal Rasha's guide for patch 2.3 in Season 4. Now, Tal Rasha's has been around for a while, but this has absolutely pulled at my heartstrings, and I'm completely in love with this build for this patch. I'm having so much fun playing it. I've played around with the Veer set, I've played around with the weird slow time set, and I've also played around with the Firebird set. None of them do as much damage as my Tal Rasha's build right now, and that's partly due to me not having the Swami Helm for the Veer set. So if you don't know about the Tal Rasha set, it's based around dropping meteors and using all the elements for damage. So you get increased reduction as well as damage from using different types of elements. Now I'm using a 5 set with a Ring of Royal Grandeur to get my bonuses, but the most important piece besides the set itself is this Halo Ring. This Halo Ring allows you to take immense amount of damage by reducing it by using Ice Armor, as well as releasing Frost Novas and basically stunning all the enemies around you. So you take very little damage. The next most important piece are the boots, which increases your damage of Meteor. Now this is important because this is the primary source of most of your damage in this build. And my braces are also very important for grouping up enemies and positioning the enemies properly underneath my meteors so that they will strike all the enemies in the area. Now for my shoulders and my helm, and my weapon and my amulet, actually, none of them are really that good. They're good, but they don't synergize well with this set. They're really just the best that I have available to me at this time. So I'm going to keep farming and get some better gear, hopefully, that'll allow me to expand on this build and allow it to take on higher levels of Greater Rifts and Torment levels. Now for gems, I'm using Bane of the Powerful and Pain Enhancer in my rings, Bane of the Trapped in my amulet, and some alternatives that you could use are the Bane of the Stricken as well as the Poison Gem, but I haven't leveled up Bane of the Stricken or the Poison Gem, so I'll give you more details on those once I finish leveling those gems up. As for my abilities, we have Shock Pulse, Living Lightning. You can also use Piercing Orb, Blizzard, Unrelenting Storm, and then we have Energy Twister, Wicked Wind, and we have Hydra, Mammoth Hydra for your fire damage. Then we got Force Armor, you guys know about that, no big deal. Ice Armor, Crystallize. Now this is one of the most important skills in this build because it allows you to take so much damage. The stacking armor is incredible. It allows you to basically tank enemies in higher Greater Rifts. Now for my minor skills, Astral Presence for increased mana, Conflag, Elemental Exposure. This synergizes well with the build. And then lastly, you guys just saw Unstable Anatomy to let me survive a little bit longer and get a second life, basically. Now I'm in Torment 7. I could probably push a little. I could definitely push higher. As you'll see, I'm just going to blow up these mobs and give you a general idea of how the rotation works. So you're going to group up some enemies. You're going to pull them together with Wicked Wind, and then unleash all of your abilities on top of that grouped up set. As you can see, the meteors will fly down and just annihilate everything on the screen. It's amazing how much damage, how much burst damage, and how much sheer damage this build can put out. I never really am too much danger at any point. As you can see here, I'm just going to absolutely annihilate this pack of mobs by dropping meteors and dropping all my abilities on them at once. There's really not too much this build can't handle. Especially, the Rift bosses actually go down really, really fast. You're able to chain together all your abilities right on top, and your boots actually give you a plus 200% increase to damage when attacking 3 or less enemies. So you get a pretty big, sizable boost from that as well. Now, as you guys can see, it's just a lot of movement. You don't have a blink, unfortunately, but you still can. You're just constantly moving, dropping your abilities. You don't need to like stand and cast. Some alternatives, though, I want to point out for this build are using the Ancient Patharian Bracers. That'll give a huge defensive bonus. And for my cube, I'm just using Scourge, which just does the AoE around you, which is nice. I have nothing better at this point. My gloves, nothing special there. And this ring, which actually fears and causes enemies to explode if you kill them while feared, which is nice as well, but just I have no better alternatives at this point. Let me guys know what you think of this build. Thanks again. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content. Bye, guys.